This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75
wow.
BB babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Bro, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what
Schlecht?
it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht, part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend Alex Speers, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. Contact Drew 405-478-7714. Aaron 405-773-5500. Listen, Shelter, it's a great insurance company, ranked number 1 on the Forbes list of the world's best auto insurance companies, and right here in Oklahoma. They've been ranked number 1 for customer satisfaction by J.D. Power 6 out of the last 7 years.
Wow.
But really what it's about, those are good guys that want to help you, all right? If you want to protect your home, your car, other valuable assets that you have, these guys will help you out. So give them a call or text today. Support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me on a Wednesday morning is my good friend Alex Speers. Alex, what's up?
What's up?
Are you down on this Wednesday morning?
No, this is a special tired edition.
Oh,
of Down to Dunk.
Super sleepy edition of
DT. I went to a show last night and I got home at like 1, Andrew.
What was the show?
MJ Lenderman. Do you know him? You'd like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like alt country type of thing.
Sounds like something I would like. Okay, I'll check it out.
But yeah, this is a rough one. But I'm drinking. I've avoided caffeine.
Yeah,
I haven't had caffeine in maybe like 3 months.
Wow.
But guess what? This morning, I'm having a cup.
Is that a cup of Joe? Cup of tea?
Cup of tea.
Okay.
So it's not that crazy. I'm not getting yerbed up or anything. I was just listening to a podcast all about energy drinks. Man, they're getting crazy out there. Some of those energy drinks.
Wow. What's crazy about them?
Just how much caffeine is in them.
Oh, yeah.
We were on a long time family vacation, and my brother-in-law loves Celsius. You know, they're like 200 milligrams. My father-in-law just thought they were seltzers. Drank like 3 of them in one day. Told us the next day, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't notice anything." So I don't know what's going on there, but that would not be the story if I had done that.
That sadly might be the story if I did that.
No, really? Well, yeah, because you drink coffee at like night.
Yeah, it's not great. Not a great situation sometimes.
Not great.
All right, so we're like a week away essentially from NBA stuff being real. So it's exciting. Get to have training camp. Training camp's just around the corner. Media day is like almost here. Also, we're doing a podcast at Frontier City
for Fright Night.
For Fright Night, which might be the most important detail of any of this. That if you guys would want to join us at Frontier City on the 27th of September, we're doing a live podcast at Frontier City. So join us there. Dunkers,
now,
be there.
What is the podcast setup like at Frontier City? Like, do you know where it is?
Yeah, it's at the Mystery River Bar.
Mystery River Bar.
out by the log flume, which most
Okay.
people call the log ride, but the sign says the flume. And yeah, it's going to be at this like bar area. The log ride will be in the background of us.
Nice.
It's going to be
You're
glorious.
not in the splash zone, are you?
Might be.
Oh no.
Hard to say. I don't think we'll be in the slash zone, no. But
Now is this the first podcast you've done at Frontier City?
this is the first podcast I've ever done in Frontier City.
Is it the first podcast you've done in an amusement park?
Ooh, yes,
Okay.
also true. Maybe that'll be our new thing, is that we just do.
Is this the first podcast done at an amusement? I just never heard of a podcast being done in an amusement park.
Well, we're blazing a trail here for all
Yeah.
podcasters.
Who knows? You could maybe start a little tour out of it.
We that would be amazing. It's like we're hitting Disney World. We're going to Legoland. God, that would rock. That'd be amazing. All right. Let's do some over-unders, Al. We're going to do an over-under challenge today. You want to tell our listeners a little bit about what we're doing here today?
Over-under challenge. Yeah, I mean, usually the problem with us doing over-unders on Down to Dunk is that me and Andrew agree on usually 95% of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
We'll differ on like 5 teams.
Yeah.
And so when you get to the end of the year, whatever your record was, probably going to be my record. So this year,
Be close.
we're going to make sure that we're different.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a draft of teams.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with the Eastern Conference. You both get to pick, when it's your turn, you get to pick a team and whether you want to go over or under.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other person has to take the opposite side. They're forced. Even if they don't want to.
That's why it's a challenge. It's
a challenge.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize which teams you feel most confident about. So you make sure you get those picks in. And it'll also be just kind of interesting to see which teams we leave for the end.
Mm-hmm.
We both are like uncertain on.
Mm-hmm.
So let me bring up my screen. Okay.
Oscar says we should do a podcast somewhere before the ring night game. We won't be doing it the night of ring night, but I can also say that we may be doing a live season preview pod somewhere.
Really?
So prepare yourselves for that. Yeah.
A live season preview pod somewhere.
Yeah. Live bold predictions.
Interesting. Well, folks, start looking up amusement parks in Oklahoma. You can probably narrow it down. Get your tickets.
Is Whitewater Bay still open in September? You'll find out.
That'd be cool. Now, an empty amusement park podcast?
Yeah.
That'd be a vibe.
We could do in the empty wave pool.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be nice. Okay, so here are all the teams. This is the Eastern Conference. See them right here. And they're over under.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew, I'll do it this way. Would you like to go first for the East or first for the West? Because we'll do the West eventually.
I'll go first for the West.
Okay, I had a feeling you would do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know why.
I know why.
Okay, I'll start it off then. I'm feeling pretty good about taking the over for Atlanta.
Okay.
For Atlanta. It's 56 and a half. They just have to win 57 games. It's 46 and a half. They have to win 47 games. Now, have they done that any time in the last half decade? No.
Nope.
How long has it been since they've done anything close to that? Yeah, it's been a while. But I think as long as they're healthy, which they haven't really gotten great health luck. Wow, they haven't won that many games since the 2016 season.
I was going to say,
So
it's
every
16-17 or 15-16?
15-16.
So when Kevin Durant was on the Thunder was the last time
Yes.
that this happened.
Yeah. Now, saying that out loud makes me less confident. But this, for me, this just comes down to once you get past the teams we think are going to be really good,
Mm-hmm.
who do you really believe in? And I just think that Atlanta has the talent and the additions in the offseason of Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Love that.
Yeah.
They've done such a good job. We've said this over and over. They've done such a good job of finally building like a real team around Trae Young to mask all of his deficiencies while potentially highlighting all the good things that Trae does. I think this could be a great Trae season. He could get all-star without having to be picked by the commissioner. You know, because everyone seems to hate Trae for some reason. I think the narrative flips on Trae Young this season when the Atlanta Hawks are just consistently in the top 4 of the East for the majority of the season. And I think that's good enough to get them to 47 wins. I don't think this is a 50-win team, but based on how the East is, I think they're a high 40s team.
Yeah, I get that. However, I just worry about some of these guys that are going to need to play a lot. Like Porzingis is a huge part of what they're trying to do here this season. And that is can be a pretty scary proposition. And I guess the question is like, and I like Onyeka Okongwu, but he's going to have to play a lot because when you look at their big man depth, I'm pretty worried. We get to Charles Bassey pretty fast. And I just don't know that they have like the big depth that they need. That's something that I wish that they would have shored up a little bit more. And also just the track record. I mean, they won 40 games last year. I just don't know that they're 7 games better this year. And it's really going to depend on health. Like that's like, I'll take the under just because of health.
Well, you have to take it, but yes, you can have a reason to.
That would be the reason that I would take the under for this team, though, is I just don't know that they are going to stay healthy. And then like specifically the big man depth, if Okongwu misses any time and Porzingis misses any time, then it's just who is going to play.
Fine. Here's a fun stat. Other than the year he completely missed because I think he's tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
This was age 23 season. Kristaps Porzingis has played in at least half of the available games every season.
Mm-hmm.
Now that might not sound crazy, but people talk about Porzingis like he just like never plays. He's played at least 42 games every single year he's been in the NBA. So I think we can at least bank on him playing half the season. So that's a start.
That's a start.
It's not. He's not this guy who like routinely has seasons where he's playing like 10, 15 games.
Yeah. No, I mean he'll play. I mean there's a reason that people are projecting them to make a big jump, and a lot of it is him.
And guess what? I didn't even know they had Luke Kennard on their team. I'm just now learning.
Wow. Yeah, I mean having Luke Kennard on your team really has meant nothing for the most part.
It has, and I just look at this team, and they are they're like top 9-ish is like solid.
Yeah,
NBA guys.
They have some good depth. Although they did trade Kobe Buffkin this week, which
to a team that just desperately needed a guard.
I know it's sad. It's like that is not the best situation for the Buffkin boys.
I know.
But you know what?
Maybe the cream will rise to the top because it's not like any of those other guards are getting too excited.
I agree. I think Buffkin is going to be a starter, and you should pick him up in fantasy right away.
Big Vít Krejci year coming.
Could be. I like Vít. I mean, who wouldn't want a Vít Krejci on their team?
No one. He's going to be in the league forever.
He's good.
Okay, Andrew, your first pick.
My first pick is the Boston Celtics under. They're at 40.5.
Okay.
And I just realized we're going in order now. I just think that this team they have a mission this year, and it's to lose games and to find a way to reload. And the best way to reload is to use your own draft picks and pick somebody that can kind of grow along Tatum and Brown and Derek White. Just because I think free agency moving forward is going to be really tough to rely on. And so, they could use that pick for a trade. They could use it to pick somebody to grow alongside these guys, like I just said. Like, there's just so much value there. And to be a 500-ish team that makes the play-in and potentially makes the playoffs is borderline disastrous, in my opinion. There's so many guys that are on this team now that will not be on the next good Boston Celtics team. Like a crazy amount of guys on this roster today that are here as placeholders that they're going to employ this year to lose games. They talked about big man depth for the Hawks, which it looks like an embarrassment of riches compared to what's going on in Boston. I mean, is it Keita that starts? Is it Luka Garza that starts? I mean, those are the two guys I would guess.
Boucher.
You're not going to start Boucher at center, though.
Well, Andrew.
I mean, I'm just telling you, like,
So
this
one of
is
our
maybe
options.
Xavier Tillman Senior.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just think that, and the Thunder did this too, where they basically didn't have good interior defense for the 2 years that they tanked, and that was extremely helpful to them losing basketball games. And I feel like Boston, while they do have a good guard play, like Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Anthony Simons are good. Jaylen Brown is obviously a good player. I just think that they're going to find ways to sit Derek White and Jaylen Brown, and then everybody else that's on this team, I think, will lose games for you. So I will gladly take the under.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing to me is kind of up in our discussion with Yossi was just that how quick can they really retool? It doesn't feel like it's going to be as easy. I think most NBA fans are thinking about this team as like, okay, this is their 1 year off, and they'll be right back at it. And it'll be the same Boston Celtics that we've known for the last few years, going to be an obvious contender in the East, maybe an overall contender.
Mm-hmm.
But like you talked about their big man depth. Like if you added a healthy Jason Tatum to this team, I don't think they'd be picked by many people at all to win the NBA championship.
You're like the 5 seed. Hey, Al, can you increase the volume on your microphone? We've got people in the chat saying they can't hear you well enough.
How's that?
Much better.
Yeah. So I'm most interested in how long it takes this team to actually get back to a team that really matters.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna have to find a center, maybe in the draft, and then have that guy come in and immediately be good.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna have to get like really lucky with like a dumb trade or finding a diamond in the rough. Because the way Yossi was talking about it, he was like, yeah, this is probably going to be like a 2-year thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a long time. Now, for the purposes of this, the reason why I think you would take the over is, one, they're going to be slotting Peyton Pritchard into the starting lineup. I think Peyton Pritchard is going to be surprisingly good. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people this season. And if Jaylen Brown, and Derek White are healthy, I just think this team is going to be more competent than like half of the Eastern Conference, just because of the institutional experience of the Boston Celtics, having a good coach, a good GM, and just a couple of good players. I still think that puts them a leg up on a lot of these teams in the East.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with taking the over on Boston because they could still be an under 500 team and hit the over. And while I get that they should tank, there's already like way too much talk about like, oh, when could Jason Tatum come back? And I'm just not. I need to see it because I did this last year with Brooklyn, where it was like, well, this team is obviously just going to let the bottom drop out, and then they just kept winning games with a team that is less talented than Boston, but they just kept winning them.
They did.
And then they like finally kind of started tanking at the end, and it was like, oh my gosh, you guys did not have a clear plan.
Yeah.
And I feel like Boston's the sort of team that's just going to like roll the ball out. Hey, let's see what our guys do. We're not going to deliberately be sitting Jaylen Brown or anything. I don't know. I don't trust them to do that, so I'm fine with taking the over.
Yeah.
For the Celtics.
Shout out to the Tyrese Martin game. or he hit like 6 threes.
Yeah. Also, it'll be interesting to just see what happens with Anthony Simons this season, because even though he'll be on a not great team, there's gonna be a lot more people thinking and talking about Anthony Simons than there has been in a long time.
For sure.
Because when he was on the Blazers, it was no one cared.
I think they're gonna flip. They're gonna try to flip him.
Good luck.
They've already been trying.
Yeah, they've been trying.
Yeah.
Okay. My next pick, Andrew. I think I'm gonna take the Chicago Bulls over.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, their over's 32.5.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. It's not a good team. But the idea that they're, like comparing them to the Raptors, like who have to win 40 games to hit their over under, versus the Bulls who have 33. Now I did the thing with Atlanta where it's like how long has it been since they've won 47 games? How long has it been since Chicago hasn't won 33 games? It's not that long. 2020-21 season. But it's been 4 seasons of them just being locked in to like 39 or 40 wins.
Yeah, that's true.
And in a season, first of all, they showed their hand last year. They're never going to tank. If they were going to tank, that was going to be the year to do it.
Yeah.
It was all set up. They had already traded DeRozan. They should have traded Levine earlier. They could have gotten rid of Vooch potentially too. They didn't want to do it. They're never going to want to do it. So even though this roster is not thrilling in any way, I think it's a perfectly competent roster. And maybe you get a boost from like a Manas Buzelis in year 2. Maybe, if Josh Giddey plays anywhere close. I was looking at starting to get ready for fantasy basketball.
Yeah.
Some people have Josh Giddey ranked very highly in fantasy basketball.
I mean, he's a stat sheet stuffer,
He is, but like traditionally that type of player was like empty calories in terms of fantasy, because they're really only going to get you rebounds, assists, and points. He's not going to get you a lot of steals. He's not going to get you a lot of blocks.
He'll get you threes though.
He's finally starting to hit some threes, and if his percentages are okay, because he started getting the line a little bit. So it's just crazy to me that he's being talked about that way for fantasy, because there's been guys like him in the past who have been kind of a trick if you take them. You think they're going to be really good, but yeah, 32.5. 32.5. I don't know. I mean, I don't like this team. I don't want to act like I think there's some amazing team. They just have like enough guys, like still having Vooch, Kobe White, Io, even like Zach Collins, Patrick Williams, Kevin Huerter, Isaac Okoro, Trey Jones. Like they just have enough guys to win 33 games. This roster has not been depleted in the way you would expect a team that we all thought was like rebuilding and tanking. And maybe that's coming down the road or something. But yeah, for right now, they already showed their hand last year, so I don't think they're going to deliberately tank, in which case I think 33 wins is very attainable.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm forced to take the under here. I just wonder if they're going to lean on just playing young guys. Because I think the thing that's gotten them to this 40 wins year after year is that they're leaning on older players. I don't really know what they're doing with Vooch. I don't really know what's happening here with him. This is a pretty young team for the most part, and then Vooch. He's like really the only like real seasoned veteran on this team.
Yeah, after him, it's Kevin Huerter and Zach Collins.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on here with him. But if they do move off of Vooch at some point this season, I could see them going under because you want to see what Noah Essengay has. You want to, have Josh Giddey be like your primary guy. Like I just think that you want to find out some stuff about these guys. And it's a pretty young team. Like Dalen Terry, they need to find out what they have in him this year. I think that they have to kind of discover what they have, which the Bulls have not been very good at. So yeah. I think that really the case for the under is certainly that they want to that they want to develop these young guys. You know, they have a rookie named Wooga Poplar.
Yeah, I think we talked about that the last time we talked about the Bulls.
Did we really? That I don't remember that at all. But that is a name.
It is. It's a great name.
God, that's a name.
And he's from Philly. Yeah, I was looking at the draft because I guess I would just say I didn't have strong opinions on Noah Essengay. He didn't get me that excited. If they had taken like Carter Bryant, I mean, doesn't that seem like a nice fit next to Josh Giddey?
Yeah, I guess. I know Carter had some interesting moments in summer league, but he has no bag.
I know.
I just worry about guys like that in the NBA today. I don't know. I'm
just saying there's some other guys they could have taken that I would have been more excited by. Honestly, I know he got hurt, but Thomas Sorber would have gotten me more excited.
Yeah,
as a Bulls fan.
Yeah, Sorber I think would have been interesting for Chicago. I'm trying to think who else. I mean, if they drafted Hanson Young, I mean, come on.
Yeah, they could have taken Derek Queen. They could have screwed up New Orleans' whole thing.
I don't mind the Essengay pick. He's a mystery bag. He's great. Like he's 18.
You love French mystery bags.
One of these French mystery bags has got to hit eventually.
Do they? I think it was Wemby. I think that was the guy.
He was a mystery bag, though. It was a very you very much knew what was in the bag.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of Noah Essengay, but whatever. Maybe it'll work out.
Yeah. Maybe they should have taken Berenger.
Yeah, I mean, based on the one summer league game I watched of him, I was very impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of whatever. I do think, honestly, Sorber might be the one.
Yeah.
Where you just say, hey, we want to replace Vooch with a young guy. He's good at everything. He can pass. He can score around the basket. He's got good touch.
Yeah.
Good rebounder. Uber productive. And yeah, I mean that would probably be the guy that I would have picked for them.
But maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe Modest is all they need.
Or maybe Noah Essengay, who has the most hilarious picture in the history of Summer League with getting dunked on. You know, you would miss out on that moment if you're a Bulls fan.
Hopefully that's not the highlight of his career.
It could very well be the highlight of his career. Okay. My next one. I'm going to take the under for the Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
Listen, this is easily the worst roster that Giannis has ever had. And I don't think it's even close.
Hold on. Let's look at those early Bucks teams. You think it was better than 13-14?
I don't know.
Actually, this team was loaded. Chris Middleton, OJ Mayo, Brandon Knight, Ersan Ilyasova, John Henson, Caron Butler. We're already up to two former. Oh, Larry Sanders was on this team.
Give me that roster over this one.
Ramon Sessions, Luke Ridnour, Zaza.
Yeah, give me that roster 100%.
That roster finished with 15 wins that I was just gushing over.
That's unbelievable. Wow. I think that if you took the Giannis of then and put that Giannis on this team would win 15 games. I just think this team stinks. I mean, it's Miles Turner, Bobby Portis.
Those are names. Those are NBA guys.
Yeah. And Giannis. Those are the top three best players. And then we're talking about Kyle Kuzma, Taurean Prince, Gary Harris, Gary Trent, Cole Anthony, Amir Coffey, Kevin Porter Jr., Jericho Sims, Ryan Rollins, AJ Green. Actually, like AJ Green's fine, but dude, this might be one of the worst rosters in the league.
they've collected a large amount of guys where if your team got them off a buyout,
Yeah.
you would do an emergency pod and talk about how excited you were, and then it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
They have all of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah. This is the Markieff Morris corollary with all of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think, I think this is the worst roster. And I think that if Giannis misses any time, how do you win? How do they win games without him? How do they do that? He played 67 games last year. They would lose all the games that he misses, all of them. And I just don't think I don't think they're going to win enough with him. It is crazy the roster that they put around him. And I think the Miles Turner thing was creative and reckless at the same time, and I don't know what other options they had, but I don't know how you turn what we're seeing here into a good team eventually for Giannis. I don't know how that happens, but for this season, man, I don't know. Like he's going to be 31 in December.
Yeah.
And I worry about his body holding up because he relies purely on force and athleticism and all these things that do not age well. I just don't know where the Bucks are going, and I do think that eventually, like, the best path for them is trading Giannis if they want to reload, because they don't have another way. They've exhausted every opportunity possible to build around Giannis, and they got the title, which is great. If they didn't have the title, I think this would feel horrific. But you have the title. You've had this Giannis run. It's amazing. But I do think that this year I'll take the under for them. It may not be, the under is 42.5. Like if they won 40 games, like that would not be shocking to me at all.
Yeah. It is. Thinking about Giannis being 31 already. And then, there's already these reports coming out about, 2027, all these teams that are wanting to line up to get Giannis. Like, it probably would still be good for a couple seasons, but I don't know. Like, if I love the idea, if Giannis would be my first choice with like Luka in LA,
yeah.
Especially if you could get Nikola Jokic. That was the other name that people were thinking.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
good.
A good name to get.
Yeah, Jokic feels like he could play until he's 40 if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. Taking the under, it's fine. I'm betting on the fact that this team, them losing more than that, if they go under 42.5, it's the end. It's the end of everything.
I think the roster already signals it, but yes.
But clearly that's not what they're trying to do. They are desperately trying to win as many games as possible, to be as relevant as possible for as long as possible, so that they can keep Giannis around. So at least when taking the over, you have a team that has zero incentive to tank in any way, not just because they don't have their control of their pick.
Mm-hmm.
But also because they have to win.
Yeah.
They have to, or this whole thing is over.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of pressure, and it's a ton of pressure on Giannis. I mean, he'll probably be Giannis from day one.
He has to be.
Which is fun.
Who else point on this team?
Going back to fantasy, he's going to put up some stat lines.
Yeah, he is.
This season.
Yeah, he is.
So that'll be fun. I think in this East, it's possible. They could get to 43 wins. That's a 43 and 41 Milwaukee Bucks team that's like 7th or 6th in the East.
Yeah.
That's doable.
Who's their second leading scorer and how many points is it?
Second leading scorer, it's probably going to be Miles Turner or Bobby Portis. So Bobby Portis last season was at was he at 13.9? Yeah. So he had 14 per game.
Yeah.
And then Miles Turner was at 15.6. Yeah, I'll go Miles Turner. Because he had kind of a down scoring season. Like the two previous seasons, he scored 18 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's back in that range.
He has not higher.
He has to. He has to be.
He just flat has to be. I mean, they had Dame last year for 58 games, and he was 25 a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tricky.
Okay, my next one. Under Brooklyn Nets. Truly one of the worst rosters I've seen in recent memory.
It's amazing.
They're finally doing it. They're finally doing what I anticipated they were going to do last year, but they just waited way too long.
Yeah, they did.
This team is trash. Oh my gosh. This team is so bad. It's so young. I'm just listen, I did this with them last year, and I think last year their over-under was right around this. In fact, let me check. I can tell you what it was. Last year their over-under was lower. It was 19.5.
Wow.
And I was feeling super confident. And even though we talk about this team last year that like, oh my gosh, they overperformed expectation.
Yeah.
Well, they won 26 games, but their expected win-loss was 23. So it wasn't like they were a good team. It wasn't like that was a truly spunky team that was going to do something in the East. That was a terrible team. They just happened to win a few more games than they should have. That was probably close.
They started 9-10.
They did. Yeah, and that happens a lot of times when you have a season like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with taking the under on this. I know 20.5 is super low, but we have teams winning 20 or fewer games every single season. So that doesn't scare me off. I mean, they have some guys, Nick Claxton, Haywood Highsmith, Terrence Mann, Michael Porter Jr., Cam Thomas. Like that's kind of a Day'Ron Sharp. Okay, so there's like 6 guys. You're like, okay, they've played in the NBA. I'm like vaguely familiar with what they can bring.
Yep.
But that's the best. That's the cream of the crop. You miss Michael Porter Jr. for a couple weeks, which wouldn't be shocking. Who is scoring on this team? There's no scoring on this team. Every single guy they draft.
They're scoring on this team.
No. Well, Cam Thomas, that's it. Every single guy they draft just wants to set up other guys. Their entire roster is just guys who want to set up other people.
They're unselfish.
Yeah, that's the nice way of saying it. So
This is me preparing for the over.
I know. I feel more confident than I did last year, and I think I locked it last year.
Yeah.
Last year, the thinking was, oh, you made that trade. Why would you make that trade? Why would you get your picks back if you weren't committed to this? And they weren't. It feels like the moves they made this summer, it's like, okay, we did screw up. We really should have gone all in. What were we doing? Why did we win 26 games?
Yeah.
Why did we put ourselves in a position where like we actually could draft Yegor, and yeah, it was like kind of a crazy pick, but it wasn't that crazy because at that point in the draft, it was like, well, who do you really like? You know, like they did such a poor job.
Yeah.
In this rebuild, and they had set themselves up so nicely. I would have just loved those Phoenix picks. They could have just kept those Phoenix picks. Anyways, under Brooklyn, 20.5.
Yeah. Like they could, I mean, we'll see how Yegor does, but I mean, they could have taken Murray Boyles or Cedric Coward, or if you're a Malawatch guy, which I'm not really a Malawatch guy, but you know, there were options. Okay, here's the pitch for the over. Jordi Fernandez is really a good coach and did good things with this roster last year. And they are returning 6 of their top 7 players from last year in minutes played.
From that 23-win team? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Jalen Wilson, Keon Johnson, Nick Claxton, Zaire Williams, Tyrese Martin, Noah Clowney are their top 7 guys, all returning, and you're just replacing Cam Johnson with our guy that should just stop talking immediately forever. So that's the pitch. That's all I got.
Yeah, the great thing about last year is while they did have rookies, none of those rookies demanded court time. Like it was like Drew Timme, Jalen Martin, Tyson Etienne. That was it.
Yeah.
Q Yongzi.
Yeah.
That was it.
Goes by Jackie.
Oh, does he really? Now they have rookies that like you got to play. They're all they have 5 first rounders. You got to
Yes.
play them, and they're going to be terrible. So that's great for me. Okay, who do you want to go with next?
Yeah. Let's see. I will take the Detroit over. This is my first over.
Your first over, the first time you've been positive.
This is this is the first, as I'm walking out the door with my kids this morning, telling one of them that we need to start positive. We got to be positive. I've just been completely negative this whole time. The Detroit Pistons won 44 games last year, and I think this is similar to the Thunder in that, like, they're just going to get better because of age. I just think that Cade Cunningham had an amazing year, and I thought that he got better. I think the playoff experience is really good for him. Hopefully you get a full year of Asar Thompson, which you only got 59 games of last year. I just think that both the Thompson twins are just winners and game changers, period. And I think you're going to get enough out of everybody else. I think Duncan Robinson will be a good floor spacer. I think Karis LeVert will fit in off the bench. And I think that you'll get jumps from Cade, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, Asar Thompson that will kind of help you. Ron Holland too. I think Ron Holland had a pretty decent rookie year, and a guy that could take a step forward as a defender, and then offensively he's got to make some improvements. But really, all of this is just a belief in Cade Cunningham that they could win 3 more games than they did last year. So I'll take the over on the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, especially in this Eastern Conference, when you're trying to find a team outside of the top teams to pick just to be decent, I think Detroit's a solid pick for that because they are so young. I'm kind of betting on the sophomore slump because they jumped. They had such a big jump, 14 to 44, that it feels like you described that, like, okay, this team has a floor now. They're at least a 45 win team. And I'm just not convinced yet. I would like to see it one more season. I think that they could have a season sort of like the Kings had not too long ago, where the Kings had this like amazing breakout season. And then next year they come back and it's just not quite the same. Like they're still a solid team, but it's just everything doesn't click quite as well as it did the year before. And maybe that's because you're swapping out someone like Malik Beasley, who saved them so much with just giving them consistent 3-point scoring. I mean, if Duncan Robinson comes in and just has one of his weird seasons where all of a sudden he's like not automatic from 3, he becomes a much bigger liability. So yeah, I'll take the under because I have to. But it wouldn't shock me if this team is basically around where they were last year. They won 44 games last year. If they were around that again, it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah. The scariest thing for me, if I'm a Pistons fan, is what in the world do you do with these contract extensions for Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren?
Yeah, I guess you just sit on it.
What do you do?
Restricted free agency.
That is absolutely what you should do. But what if you don't get all that much more information about them this year? Like, you think, okay, like my idea about both of them has not really changed. Man, it is. Those are 2 horrifying contracts. And also you have the Asar Thompson one coming soon as well. I mean, trying to find a balance with those 3 deals and like trying to make this team into a contender somehow. Like, that is a terrifying proposition, and like we're seeing it, with the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga right now. Not that those, like, Jaden Ivey and Kuminga, I think are similar in some ways in that they like both can put up numbers, but are they really helping you win? We don't really know yet. You just got to be grateful to be the Thunder, and your second and third guys are just the most bankable like guys after Shea that
I know. You think about how much data we had on even with Chet's injuries. How much we knew about who those players are and where we could expect them to be in like a future ranking of NBA players versus someone like Jaden Ivey or even Jalen Duren. Like, I don't have a good feel at all, and yet you probably should extend them because they're your guys, and especially Duren like got better last year. But all of a sudden, have you locked yourself into a team that maybe has a ceiling of like 50 wins, but doesn't have any real clear path to contention in the East?
Yeah.
That would be the worry. Now, maybe after 5 seasons of just being like trash,
True.
maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's fine.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
if you're trying to see the path to a championship, they need one of these guys to like clearly break out this season.
Like if you're going to give $50 million to Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey combined, like boy, like you better have a good idea that they are both, because there's a chance that neither one is a like starting level player on a championship team.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying. Like that's a terrifying proposition.
Okay, this is my respect pick. My respect. I respect you, Indiana Pacers. Over. Okay. They showed me a lot, Andrew. Showed me a lot. I'm terrified of that team now and forever. I don't care.
You.
I respect you. I don't care who's on the court. You are scary. You are scary now and forever. They have to. Their over unders 38.5. So they have to win 39 games. And they don't have Halliburton. They don't. Honestly, the Miles Turner one is bigger to me because we knew the Halliburton one once you saw it. Okay, that's a long-term injury. Losing Miles Turner for nothing was just so stupid.
Yeah.
And the thing that does scare me about this over/under is their center rotation. They're very similar to the Celtics, like in so many ways.
100%.
I mean, who do you like more, the Celtics center rotation or the Pacers center rotation? I'd probably say the Pacers.
Pacers? Yeah.
We got Jay Huff,
Isaiah Jackson.
We got
Tony Bradley.
Yeah, Tony Bradley, James Wiseman.
So James Wiseman's still here? What?
Yeah. So that is the one thing that scares me, but I'm kind of banking on what I saw in the finals, which is that Rick Carlisle can work some magic with whoever he's got. And if we get playoff Nembhard in the regular season, I think that could be enough to just get them to like a 500 level in the East.
Yeah.
If you're not getting consistent production from Nembhard, then I do think it becomes tougher because now it's like, okay, now you're a team being led by like outside of Siakam by like Benedict Mathurin, and that feels worse.
Yeah.
I know they need Benedict Mathurin, but like they really need Nembhard to be like talked about in the All-Star conversation. Not gonna be an All-Star, but just mentioned like, oh, can you believe how and Nembhard has stepped up with Halliburton out. They need that kind of performance probably just to get to like 500.
Yeah. I think what people are expecting of Andrew Nembhard may not be possible because
it may not.
We're talking about a guy who has averaged over 10 points per game 0 times in his career. He averaged 10 points flat last year per game in the regular season, 10, 3, and 5. He's great playing off of Halliburton. He was great. Even in the playoffs last year, like his numbers were up a little bit. He was at 12.5 points per game. Like, man, like it felt like so much more. It felt like so much more. His points just felt so much more impactful. Like it was very impactful, 12.5 points per game. Some people think he's going to like jump up and score a lot. I just don't know that that's there. And maybe it is, we find out. But I do think that, like, we talk about scary contracts. Benedict Mathurin is another one where, like, he in the regular season last year averaged 16 points per game.
Yeah.
He is fully capable of taking on a huge usage in the regular season, and he will do that. And so I'm happy taking the under here. I just don't, like you mentioned, the center rotation's bad. They don't really have like an engine to their offense, and so much pressure is going to be on like Pascal to like be the man. And like we've seen what that looks like in Toronto when there's not like a true like engine to the offense, and it's good. Like he's a really good player, but I don't think he's that guy. And then I just think that a ton of shots are going to go to Benedict Mathurin. And then what do you do with his extension? You know, I would trade him if I'm if I'm the Pacers, especially if you're a team that doesn't really pay the tax, then like you're gonna have to sacrifice guys that are truly impactful to winning for you. So I mean, if I were them, I would build up his value through the first part of the season, trade him at the deadline. Like that's what I would do if I were them. But I'll gladly take the under.
Last thing I'll say is in 1,100 minutes last year, with both Halliburton and Miles Turner off the court, they were still a plus 1.2, which is pretty impressive.
Okay.
That team was still a positive with those two guys off the court. Will that persist against starters? Maybe not. But we'll see. And hey, Andrew, you got to respect them.
I mean, it was terrifying. We sat right here in Down to Dunk Studios before Game 7, the day of Game 7. Did a podcast.
Yeah, I can't believe we did a podcast.
I haven't re-listened to it. I assume it's a good re-listen because it was
a snapshot in time. I did have one person come up and say, "Thank you for doing that pod. I had nothing. I didn't know what to do with myself all day, and I at least had that to listen to."
Well, there you go. At least one person needed that. Appreciated that. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna swing back negative.
Oh no, Andrew.
I'm gonna take the under for the Toronto Raptors.
You hate the East.
39.5. It just feels like a lot of games to win for this crew. This is one of the weirder rosters. I mean, they won 30 games last year. Some of it due to injury, some of it due to like what the heck is this team? Like who's leading this team? Who's the best player on this team? They kind of play like they don't know who the best player is on the team. I don't know. They have a lot of good NBA players, guys that will have long careers and make a lot of money. We were talking like Brandon Ingram, Jakob Poeltl, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes, Grady Dick. I think Ochai will probably. I mean, Ochai's going to get another contract. He had a really nice season last year. And then you have their younger guys too, like Colin Murray-Boyles. I don't know where he fits on this team with the amount of forwards that they have. I hate the roster construction. They don't have enough shooting. They don't have enough like true creation. They have guys that are like pseudo creators all over the roster. They have guys that miss time. I just don't know how this works. And if they're going to win, 40 or more games, I don't know how they get there. David Roddy's on this team. Like, why do you need David Roddy? Like, he's just like this another forward that you're like, what do we do? Like, oh, let's just get as many of these like big forwards that love to barrel at the basket as we can. Like, what's going on? I just like don't know what's going on here in Toronto. And I know S loves this team. He thinks they're going to be really good. He thinks they're going to win like 45 games. And
really? Wow. Okay.
Maybe I could fall flat on my face with this one, but I think the spacing's bad. I think the roster construction is one of the worst in the league. I don't know. I hate this Raptors team.
All that sounded pretty true, but here's the good news for taking the over on the Toronto Raptors. There weren't too many teams that were trying to tank harder than Toronto last season. I mean, the Jazz are definitely up there.
Yeah.
But the Raptors, I mean, we all remember they got to that point where they had this like crazy easy schedule for months going into the end of the season. And everyone was talking about, well, Toronto's obviously going to tank. And I was looking at the roster or the schedule like, how are they going to consistently lose? This is the craziest bad schedule I've ever seen. Like the teams that they were playing were so bad every night, and they really struggled to lose. They kept like picking up a game here or there, and that's why they ended up at 30 when I'm sure they would have much preferred to end up at like 25. I think that's what they were aiming for.
Yeah, they were 12. They were 12 and 14 after the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's brutal. They did not want to be that, and they were not trying to be that. Some of the rosters they put out during those games just terrible, and they were still winning because the other teams were so much worse. So I'm just
they beat Orlando. They played Orlando 2 times in a row. They beat them both times.
Idiots. What were they doing? Gosh.
I
mean,
funny.
now that we've
they won 4 games in a row. Like the last at the end of March.
Yeah, like this is such that 4-game stretch. The Wizards, Nets, Hornets, Sixers. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How can you lose all those games?
I mean, the thing is with those games too, like they killed all those teams.
They did. And then they beat the Nets and Hornets again. Yeah, you look at who they beat. Okay, after those Magic wins, Jazz, Wizards, Sixers, Jazz, Wizards, Nets, Hornets, Sixers, Nets, Hornets.
That
is
like unbelievable schedule.
It was the hardest tanking schedule ever. And they weren't able to do it. So my point is that
oh man,
this team or this year they're going to be trying. They have to be trying. They're bringing in Brandon Ingram. We're going to get to see him. If they finally get a healthy year from Emmanuel quickly, which maybe they don't, but and they can make some type of in-season trade just to free up some of this mess stylistically that they have constructed. They can
what are they doing?
I don't know. If they can bring in just like one more guy who can shoot, I think this team does have some upside. Yeah. And people seem to like the coach. That's great. So I don't think they're much more than a 40-win team, which is what they would have to be to hit the over.
Yeah.
But I can at least see the upside case where it's, hey, we were actively trying to be terrible last year. And now we're going to try. Yeah. And I think they're closer to that than some of these other teams that may be. Although I look at a team like Chicago. Well, that's why I picked them. That's why I went over on Chicago. I just feel much more confident about Chicago hitting that over. To take the over on Toronto, to really believe in it, that's something. Because that is a high number.
It's a high number.
If that was like 37, and like they're not even qualified to be a surprise team. That's crazy. They should be 36.5.
They should be 34.5.
We're not even going to be talking about them during the surprise team episode. That's crazy.
I might take the under on 34.5.
Really?
This is a weird team.
Okay. We can probably do like one more. Let's do
more. I've got to go, actually.
We got to go. Okay. Well, so we'll be back next week. And, hey, we did 8.
Yeah.
It's better than what we usually do.
I know. That's not bad. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. Hope everybody's doing great. We'll talk to you guys again on Friday. Until the dawn.